Thanks for staying with us. You're watching WION World is One. I'm Adhya Juneja and this is Speed News. Let's start with all the stories making headlines today. The US launched strikes on Iranian targets for a second straight day, with explosions reported across southern Iran and near the Strait of Hormuz. Iranian state media said cruise missiles hit two railway bridges in northeastern Iran, while warplanes flew over Kesh Island and blast rocked the port cities of Bandar Abbas, Konarak and Chabur. Well, the latest offensive follows the first wave of US-Iran attacks a day earlier after both sides said that they had struck dozens of targets. Iranian state television said the initial strikes killed 8 Iranian military personnel. Explosions shook Bahrain's capital, Manama, on Thursday, moments after air raid sirens warned residents of an incoming attack. The blast came hours after Iran's Revolutionary Guards vowed a devastating response to new US strikes on Iranian territory. In neighboring Kuwait, the military said its air defense systems intercepted hostile missile and drone attacks, adding that the explosions heard across the country were caused by interception efforts. Iranian guards have now threatened to expand strikes further. US President Donald Trump warned Tehran of much worse if it continues to target vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. Despite the military action, he said he expected the latest flare-up to end quickly and left the door open for further talks. US Central Command reported that the strikes were aimed at degrading Iran's ability to threaten freedom of navigation through the strategic waterway, adding that Washington was holding Tehran accountable for its recent unjustified aggression against commercial shipping. Iran's chief negotiator Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf said that the Strait of Hormuz will only reopen under Iranian arrangements following a series of strikes exchanged between Tehran and Washington. In a statement on X, Ghalibaf accused the United States of relying on bullying and warned that any further attack would trigger a response from Iran. As tensions escalate, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres urged maximum restraint from all sides. Well, this call was supported by Pakistan, which has played a key mediating role in US-Iran talks. Iran also signaled support for diplomacy, saying Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi and Qatar's Prime Minister spoke by phone and stressed the importance of resolving regional tensions through diplomatic means. Lebanese state media reported that an Israeli drone strike near a hospital in southern Lebanon's Nabatieh al-Fawqa killed 2 people despite an ongoing ceasefire. Well, the strike followed another attack on the same town 2 days earlier that killed 4 civilians. Meanwhile, the Israeli military said it captured a Hezbollah militant during clashes in Bnei Jebel area and transferred him to Israel for questioning. The military identified him as a member of Hezbollah's elite Radwan force and accused him of carrying out attacks against Israeli troops and civilians. Lebanon demanded that Israel withdraw from 2 pilot zones in its southern region before taking part in the next round of direct talks in Rome. Well, the discussions are focused on a US-backed framework aimed at ending the conflict between Israel and Hezbollah, which includes Hezbollah disarmament and a gradual Israeli withdrawal. However, the agreement remains unresolved, with Hezbollah rejecting the deal and Israel insisting its forces will stay in a 10-kilometer security zone as long as Hezbollah remains armed. Hezbollah leader Naim Qassem has rejected the US-backed framework agreement between Israel and Lebanon, saying the deal will not be approved. While speaking at a memorial event in Beirut for Iran's late supreme leader, Qasem said Hezbollah would oppose every part of the agreement aimed at ending the conflict between the two sides. Hezbollah supporters gathered in Lebanon's southern Beirut suburbs for a memorial ceremony for Iran's late supreme leader Khamenei, mourning his death and vowing to continue what they call the path of resistance. Attendees said the loss of the leader would not end their struggle, pledging to continue their fight against Israel. The body of Iran's late supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei reached the Iraqi holy city of Karbala on Wednesday, where thousands of mourners gathered for funeral ceremonies. His casket was carried through the city to the Imam Hussein shrine, with crowds lining the streets and surrounding the funeral procession to pay their respects. The ceremonies are part of a multi-day state funeral that began in Iran on Saturday. New footage released by Iran's Supreme Leader's office shows the aftermath of an attack on Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's residential compound in Tehran. The site was verified through matching structural damage and visual details with satellite images, though the exact date of the recording could not be confirmed. Iranian state media reported Khamenei's death on 28th of February following US-Israeli strikes. The strikes marked the beginning of a wider regional war that spread across West Asia. Israeli airstrikes and gunfire killed at least 9 Palestinians in Gaza on Wednesday, including 2 children aged 6 and 10, according to health officials. Medics said strikes hit areas near a school in Gaza City and a displacement camp in Khan Yunis, leaving several others wounded. The Israeli military said it targeted militants in Gaza City but was unaware of reported casualties. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi is in Australia on the second leg of his 3-nation tour, where he met Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese at a business forum in Melbourne. The two leaders are expected to hold bilateral talks with key agreements on trade, investment and possible uranium exports to India set to be discussed. While PM Modi is also attending the India-Australia CEO Forum and Economic Roadmap reception aimed at expanding business cooperation between the two countries. Russia has criticized NATO's continued support for Ukraine, calling the alliance's pledge of billions in defense aid irresponsible. Moscow also accused European countries of preparing for a possible confrontation with Russia. Now, President Vladimir Putin blamed Ukraine for trying to weaken Russia's economy through intensified drone attacks on oil refineries, but said the country's energy system remains highly resilient. Russia has banned diesel exports in an effort to ease a growing fuel shortage due to repeated Ukrainian strikes against energy infrastructure. More than 90% of Russian regions have reported fuel shortages or rationing since June, with motorists facing long queues and empty petrol stations. Drivers in the St. Petersburg area described worsening conditions, with many stations either closed or running out of fuel. The United States has removed Syria from its list of state sponsors of terrorism, ending a decades-old designation that restricted foreign investment and economic ties. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has informed Congress of the move, which will take effect after 45 days. The announcement follows a meeting between Trump and Syrian President Ahmed al-Shara on the sidelines of a NATO summit in Turkey's Ankara. Al-Shara has worked to rebuild relations with the West after the fall of the Assad family's rule. The death toll from Venezuela's twin earthquakes has risen to 3,811, with more than 16,700 people injured and nearly 18,000 people left homeless, according to National Assembly President Jorge Rodriguez. But the June 24th quakes caused widespread destruction, prompting interim President Delcy Rodriguez to call for the lifting of international sanctions, saying blocked overseas assets could help fund recovery and reconstruction efforts. The UN has appealed for $296 million in emergency aid after a devastating earthquake in Venezuela, which killed more than 3,800 people. Thousands have been left homeless while rescue teams continue searching for missing victims in severely damaged areas like La Guaira. The funds will support relief operations for 1.3 million people over 6 months. Venezuela has also urged the release of frozen assets to help finance recovery efforts. A landslide hit the Sri Mata Vaishno Devi Shrine track on Wednesday evening, but the yatra continued unaffected. Officials said a landslide triggered by rain hit the Mata Vaishno Devi track atop the Trikuta Hills in Katra town of Resi district. According to reports, the Shrine Board had immediately rushed men and machines to clear the debris from the route, while the battery car service was temporarily suspended. The yatra continued smoothly via the old route as maintenance work continues on the landslide-hit areas. At least 7 children and a teacher were killed after a landslide hit a girls' school at a refugee camp in Bangladesh. The 8 individuals deceased were inside a classroom reciting their lecture as the landslide hit the already weak structure where Rohingya students regularly studied. Rescuers were able to remove debris and take out 5 children, while many others remained trapped. The Bangladesh Weather Office has forecasted more rain, leaving the overcrowded camps in Cox's Bazar at high risk of further landslides and flooding. High tide waves hit Mumbai's Marine Drive as the city battles with an intense monsoon onslaught. The city is recording staggering rainfall figures exceeding 300 mm in several areas. The metropolis has recently also faced a triple threat of extreme downpours, gusty winds and a high tide that surged over the iconic Marine Drive promenade. A 2-story house collapsed in Vietnam's Lai Châu province after floodwaters triggered a landslide and eroded its foundation. State media reported that all 6 family members escaped safely just minutes before the building fell. At least 1 person was killed as severe flash floods swept through northern communities, damaging vehicles, crops and livestock. Meta has said 4 U.S. states are seeking $1.4 trillion in penalties over allegations that Facebook and Instagram were designed to addict young users and mislead the public about their safety. The company called the demand unsupported and said that the proposed penalty has no precedent in the history of consumer protection enforcement. The case filed by California, Colorado, Kentucky and New Jersey is set to go to trial in August in California. Meta has denied all allegations and said it will continue to defend itself against the state's claims. China is reportedly planning to allow some of its leading AI companies to purchase a limited number of NVIDIA's H200 AI chips. According to reports, Alibaba, ByteDance and DeepSeek have been informed they could soon receive approval to buy the chips. Well, Beijing is said to be considering approval for fewer than 2 lakh H200 chips, which is less than half the number requested by the companies earlier this year. The move comes as Chinese tech firms face a growing shortage of AI computing power, while the government continues to support domestic chip development. SpaceX AI has launched Grok 4.5, describing it as its most advanced AI model yet for coding and agentic tasks. Well, the company says Grok 4.5 is trained using tens of thousands of NVIDIA GB300 GPUs and focuses on high-quality data processing. The model is now available through the Grok-built coding agent Cursor and the SpaceX AI developer console, with European availability expected in mid-July. SpaceX AI has priced Grok 4.5 at $2 per million input tokens and $6 per million output tokens, positioning it as a lower-cost option for developers. Asian markets rise on Thursday as chip stocks rebounded, led by gains in NVIDIA, Samsung and SK Hynix. However, rising tensions in the Gulf pushed oil prices higher after President Trump said the Iran ceasefire agreement was over, though he later downplayed the risk of a wider war. Well, Brent crude hit its highest level in weeks, reviving inflation concerns and raising expectations that the U.S. Federal Reserve could increase interest rates later this year. Oil prices climbed around 1% after the U.S. launched fresh strikes on Iran, raising fears of prolonged conflict and fresh disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz. Brent crude traded near $79 a barrel, while U.S. crude topped $74. The latest attacks followed Iran's assault on oil tankers, prompting insurers and ship owners to reassess voyages through the vital shipping route that carries about one-fifth of global oil supplies. Gold prices edged lower as renewed U.S.-Iran hostilities fueled concerns over inflation and higher interest rates. Spot gold slipped after hitting a one-week low, while oil prices surged on fears of supply disruptions through the Strait of Hormuz. Investors are now betting the Federal Reserve could keep rates higher for longer, reducing gold's appeal. Meanwhile, the IMF cut its 2026 global growth forecast, adding to uncertainty in financial markets. Well, the FIFA World Cup quarter-finals are here. Title favourites France and African giants Morocco kick off the round in a rematch of the 2022 World Cup semi-final. While France definitely entered the clash as favourites once again, Morocco are a force to be reckoned with. France have been the standout team in the tournament and undoubtedly have the best set of attacking players at their disposal. Morocco are now the 6th highest-ranked team in the world and have improved since that defeat 4 years back. A victory against France will be the greatest result in their history. Women's football star Alexia Putellas has completed her move to London City Lionesses. It is one of the biggest scoops in women's football history. Spain midfielder Putellas is widely regarded as one of the game's greatest players, and she left Barcelona after 14 years this summer. The 32-year-old won 38 trophies with Barcelona, including 10 league titles. So she was signed on a free transfer and was unveiled in New York City alongside London City's American billionaire owner, Michelle Kang. FIFA has announced that Canadian pop singer Justin Bieber will join Madonna, Shakira and BTS as a co-headliner for the World Cup final halftime show on 19th of July at the New York, New Jersey Stadium. The entire musical performance will last 11 minutes. Taylor Swift fans have paid $25 for pieces of trash, including cigarette butts and an ovulation test kit, which were collected near the U.S. pop queen's wedding to NFL star Travis Kelce. A New York artist picked up the garbage last Friday from city streets around Madison Square Garden, where the couple staged a glamorous event for hundreds of celebrity guests amid a global frenzy. All of items sold individually were snatched up by within 24 hours of sales starting, while water bottle caps, ring pop candy, police caution tape, straws, utensils, as well as a single left airport. A forthcoming book, Madonna Into the Groove, promises an intimate look at the Queen of Pop's meteoric rise during the 1980s, penned by Thomas Meyer with photographs by the late Ken Regan. The release features a trove of never-seen-before images. Fans can expect fresh insights into her whirlwind romance with actor Sean Penn, alongside exclusive new interviews with producer Nile Rodgers and other key collaborators who helped shape her iconic style. Filmmaker Karan Johar has reportedly secured the nationwide theatrical distribution rights for the highly anticipated mythological epic Ramayana Part 1. The deal is rumored to be worth a staggering 350 crore rupees, that is approximately $40 million. Starring Ranbir Kapoor and Yash, the trailer for the film is slated to release on 18th of July.